So that was like one of the first businesses. I did have a job. Like I really wanted money when I was young. I did the paper round as well, and my goal was to buy my first car with cash, and like I wanted to be financially fine and sound. Then I started that MLM thing, and that was an MLM, multi-level marketing network marketing, is like a startup. And I also googled the success rate of people that do multi-level marketing, and it's very, very low. It's almost more morbid than your own startup outside of under the pyramid structure. I'm not going to say it's a scheme, because like some people do really good from it, and it can work, and it can have a good structure, which is beneficial to people. What I like about that multi-level marketing thing, which is a bit of a side note, is that when you get in there, they do teach you a lot of mindset stuff and sales and marketing, which is quite cool to help you get through. So they're pretty supportive in it, but that didn't work out. I had the person above me just quit, and I had no support in that. Then I was just full-time plumbing, and then I started a travel blog. And I started a travel blog so I could make money from traveling. And I built that up over like a 2-year, bit more period. And I learned a lot of things about content creation, SEO. This is back in 2013. So this is 10 years ago. The game's changed a lot now since then. And I'm highly educated, I believe, in these factors of online business, SEO, and all that sort of stuff. With that one, what was really tricky was that affiliate commissions weren't great and ad revenues weren't great at that time frame. And I got a bunch of traffic. It was great, but I just sort of gave up on that because I wasn't really making money. And that was my goal. And I gave it a 2-year time span. Probably if I had have stuck to it, and I owned it still now for 10 years, I would have a pretty significant business. That was coming back, my own mindset, and not thinking I need to give myself a good long-term time frame. The second business I tried to start, which was at the same time as running this blog, was a drop shipping business. I spent a month building it, getting all the suppliers and everything like that linked up, but I had no traffic, and I didn't know anything about marketing, like digital marketing, paid ads. And so that didn't work out. I didn't end up earning money because I was trying to create content, and it's just a really long game to try and make money through drop shipping when you're just doing the content strategy alone. So that really didn't kick off the ground. I made some money from it, but it didn't really work. And then that's when I sort of went, all right, let's go away and buy something. And then I bought 3 businesses. And then through buying those 3 businesses, people were like, dude, you need to teach me this thing. And I started a business. And this is what I do advocate. The only reason I suggest people to start a business, if there is a problem in the world that they're so passionate about solving, and they want to be in that industry or niche and help people in that space for decades and decades and decades. And they're prepared to, run the gauntlet for that. And they're not doing it just for money. They're doing it more for passion. And that's why I started Bob Buying Online Businesses, is because I was just I'd quit my plumbing job, and I thought it was seriously the best goal I've ever achieved is quitting my plumbing job. And I shouldn't say ever, but it's been one of the best goals I have achieved, which is like getting out of that 9-to-5 rat race and having this lifestyle. I'm so passionate about trying to feed that to other people and help people do the same. And that's why Bob started. And so that experience with Bob was totally different. I had money from my other businesses, so I didn't have the forcefulness of trying to make Bob work. Although I do have ambition and I do have drive. So I did drive it and grew it and quite rapidly. And obviously there's some ups and downs. William, and a lot of other people know that I had a really tough time with Bob with the different business model. And then I changed the business model between 2018 and 2019. It was a really tough time. Nearly lost the business. And was spending a lot of money every month just to try to crawl and bring it back to a new, different business model that would be more sustainable, have less risk, and be better for everybody in the whole, including myself. So I had more time freedom and financial freedom from the business, because I was getting quite shackled within the business with a large team at the time. And so there's definitely so many challenges in business. And a lot of people just don't really, I don't think they talk about their own business publicly enough to share the challenges and the triumph. They only like to share the golden the golden things that are happening. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a tough time, and I stuck it out, and yeah, Bob's doing better than ever. So
I love that. I think the phrase that stuck out to me that you said was you solve a problem. You don't start a business, you solve a problem. And I think a lot of people they want to go out and start a business to make money, but they haven't solved a problem. And so it's just creating a mess.
yeah, and this is a really good thing that you've just mentioned, is because you got to realize what your goal is. And people don't realize that their goal is to make money. They think, well, they realize their goal is to make money, but they think the vehicle is build a business. And if your only goal is to make money, why don't you go buy something that's got proof that's actually going to make you money, like a business or a different investment? It's not groundbreaking stuff. And yeah, when you start a business, it's really tough. And if you want to draw money from it straight away, you're going to have a very, very tough time, because you've got to put a lot of time, effort, energy, money, resources into the business to be able to eventually pull a return and make money from it. So you're looking at a long period window of like being able to recuperate some ROI from the business that you're starting, versus buying an investment that's like, here's the cash. As soon as you buy it, let's change the bank account details and make some money.
Right. I know that was, God, it sounds so much better. I think it's almost like people want to pick something very difficult. Like if you read our YouTube comments, and it's wonderful that people comment. One of the things I notice is that people like to think that starting a business, or they want to believe that starting a business is a great way to prove themselves and prove there's a lot of other reasons people are starting businesses besides wanting to make money. And I think those can confuse people. They can make people do things that are more difficult than need be.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think when you're in that period of what I would call survival phase of running the gauntlet of working a 9 to 5, you're trying to earn money so you can put food on the table and have a place to live. I think when you're in that position and you find somebody, or you look up to somebody, or you see somebody that has this thing that you want or the lifestyle you want, we have the perception that, wow, that's hard to get, and it must be complicated. I need to do things. Yes, you need to do things very differently. You need to change your behaviors more so than have some sort of elaborate business plan. The elaborate business plans, you can create a business plan over a full month, and spend 40 hours a week on it for 4 weeks and build a full business plan over a full month. But the reality of everything going to plan, like anything in life, is not perfect. It's not ideal, and things change. And so what I'm trying to say is that to earn money, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to feel as though it's difficult. You just follow somebody that's done the simple path. And then as you start to earn more money, I feel, and you come out of that survival phase and you establish investments and asset classes and maybe businesses, my goal is to simplify things and make things more simple, not more complex, because the more complex it is, the harder it is to wrap your head around, the more things you need to have involved, and that creates the stress. So yeah, it's an interesting thing that we have this perception of like, wow, that's very, very complex to earn money. But if you just even if you just think about not just buying an online business, but buying any asset, for example, if you buy a car and rent it out, like for example, you might be able to rent out an AI car in the future, and it just drives around and it's a taxi. All you do is buy a car, put it on a platform and rent it out. It's that simple. You don't need a brand new amazing idea and make things complicated. And then to do that at scale, you just buy more cars and put more on the platform. Or if you just want to invest in a really good index fund, then find an index fund that pays a great dividend and then just keep putting more money into it. So damn simple. Like, it doesn't need to be complicated.